Danny Flexon for Seconds Out here with Freddie Cunningham, manager of Anthony Joshua, the biggest name in British boxing without any doubt. Freddie, just sum up for us, if you can, in a very short space of time, how you've got AJ, and not just you, the whole team, from where he was at the beginning to where he is now at the pinnacle of the sport in this country.
He's driven it. He's the man behind it all. I think partnering with a great partner like Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and then he's built a tight team around him to help everything outside of the ring, training team, all those aspects. There are all these little aspects that build to what he does in the ring. So yeah, he's sort of led it from the front, built up his team.
It's been reported that the deal with Matchroom was recently extended. What is it about the partnership that works so well? Why are they such great partners?
I think they give the fighter the control. Not the control, but I think a lot of fighters out there have not had the sort of input that they maybe wanted in their career, and Anthony's always wanted to lead his career, and they work. It's a collaboration. It's not Matchroom say this, we do this. It's not we say this, they do that. They know how to put on great events. We know how to look after a fighter, and we work. It's Anthony's company. We work with them and make sure his everything he wants to do, we're doing, and that's why it works. And I think a lot of people looking at, oh, when are you going to do it by yourselves or set up your own thing? Putting on stadium fights is no easy task, and they do it. They're the best at doing it, and they work very closely with us, and they're very fair business.
Give us an idea of how a fight like this comes together and what the various responsibilities are and how they're split between you guys and Matchroom.
So I think past you start with a big pool of fighters, don't you? Early on in your career you can fight loads of fighters. Start getting bigger fights. The pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and now it comes down to we'll probably have 2 or 3 fighters maybe we can fight. And mainly mandatories, and there's all the politics of that. So it'll be pretty obvious who we're going to go to. Eddie will start approaching them. Rob McCracken obviously will start discussing with Anthony what he wants. I mean, his answer every time is let's roll whoever. He will fight anyone. If Rob says it's good, great, and he'll do it. So Rob and Eddie will discuss opponents, and we'll discuss with Eddie and Rob and just make sure everyone's communicating, and then we'll sort of nail down the sort of target we want to go for, and then the negotiations start. So Eddie will start discussing with us what we're going to offer them and what we think should offer them, or how we should structure the partnership, and then from then we'll work closely together, and ultimately Eddie will do the deal and we'll sign for it.
What was the thought process behind nailing down his 2 fights being here at Wembley Stadium for the next 2? Because there were rumours of him making an American debut at some point.
I think it's hard to plan in boxing, isn't it? Because you got the next fight, and who knows what can happen, and you're negotiating with different people. There's no and the 4 different governing bodies, and it's difficult. And I think we're looking at America, and obviously at some point that's going to be great, but there's nothing real coming out there at the moment. There's a lot of talk, but there's no substance behind it. So for us to be able to commit to the UK fight fans and say, look, there's substance here, we've got a base, we've got a platform and following, why not let's stick at it and if we can, Wembley's the only place we want to fight. If you look at where he can fight, Old Trafford, Wembley, Millennium Stadium, and then you got the Olympic Stadium maybe. Yeah, I think it's got to get a licence though, but there's not that many places. So we spoke to Wembley, worked with them before, they're great partners to have, they really encourage what we're trying to do. And so we wanted to sort of commit, if we can, 2 fights, and gives the fans a bit of sort of structure to it, if you know what I mean.
Once it became clear that the Wilder fight wasn't going to happen next, where does Povetkin sit amongst the kind of best of the rest? Not so much in terms of being a great fighter, but from your perspective of being marketable, being someone where you can sell the fight.
I think at this level, I think at a lower level that's what you look at, because you're kind of looking at opponents, who can sell fights, he's going to bring in. We're now in the top 3 in the world. It is what it is. It doesn't matter that he can't speak English. It doesn't matter he's not going to flip tables. It doesn't matter that...
Not yet.
Well, yeah, you never know. But I think at this stage of the game where he's at, he wants to be at the top. He wants to create a legacy, and he wants to fight the best. Anything else doesn't really matter. And by fighting the best, you're going to sell the stadium out. And I think that's all. We don't even look at it now and go, right, does that do this, this and this? Let's fight the best. And he wants all the belts. And if that's Wilder that's got them, great, because he's American. He talks. If it's someone else that got them, fine. That's where he goes to fight. But ultimately, you got to look at what he wants to do and what he wants to cement his legacy with the opponents.